All right, so let's start with the big story that we're tracking on WION at this hour, where the Financial Action Task Force has taken a call on Pakistan's efforts to counter terror financing and money laundering. Now, Imran Khan's country is going to remain on the grey list of the FATF. Now, remember, Pakistan has been on the FATF Grey List since 2018 on the issue of terror financing. Many European nations believe that Pakistan should actually still continue to stay on the grey list until it complies with all 27 parameters that have been set down by the FATF to crack down on terror financing. Now, FATF claims that Pakistan has made progress and has largely addressed at least 24 of those 27 parameters, but it still needs to address a few more of them to actually be able to get off the grey list. The FATF officials have asked Pakistan to swiftly complete its full action plan before June 2021 deadline.
Sir, Pakistan had approached the UNSC, United Nations Security Council, for allowances for terrorists listed under 1267. So, do you think such kind of actions impact Pakistan's progress?
So, you mean the progress on completing the action plan? I mean, this is something, as I said in the beginning, they need to address the 3 remaining outstanding items, and that refer to what they do at home with implementing targeted financial sanctions, with the penalties by courts that must be effective and dissuasive and proportionate, and with investigating all entities of concern. That is what matters to us. These are the items on the action plan. These are outstanding, and this is where I urge the government of Pakistan to address these issues.
And this comes after the acquittal of Omar Sheikh, the prime accused in the 2002 beheading of the American journalist Daniel Pearl by the Supreme Court. And this decision, of course, had made Pakistan's position a little bit weak, and the decision has especially irked Washington. The FATF's plenary concluded its 3-day virtual meeting after several rounds of meetings since the 11th of February. The FATF is an intergovernmental organization that has 37 nations and 2 regional organizations as members. The United States and France have played a very pivotal role in putting Pakistan on the FATF's grey list and also to get the country to deliver on the Watchdog's action plan. Now, Imran Khan's government has been under intense pressure to save Pakistan from being further downgraded and from being put on the blacklist over the issue of terror financing. In recent months, Islamabad has taken several steps in order to implement the FATF action plan, such as the prosecution of the Lashkar-e-Taiba founder Hafiz Saeed and also his top aides in multiple terror financing cases, and the amendment of the financial and terrorism-related laws. All right, now to give us more perspective as to what all of this, of course, means, we are joined in by WION Sudan, who is joining us live on this broadcast. Good morning to you, Sudan. This, of course, is a very significant bit of information that has come in. You spoke with the president of the FATF, and the FATF now says that it has decided that Pakistan will continue to remain on the grey list.
Well, yes, Mohammed, it is good news and bad news both for Pakistan. The good news, of course, the FATF mentioning that Pakistan has completed 24 out of 27 action plans. But bad news, and the bad news is Pakistan remains on the grey list. And we know that the big focus is on terror financing implementation of the action plan. Related to specifically, now this impacts India as well, specifically related to the terrorists listed on the 1267 Committee of the United Nations Security Council. That basically means that when it comes to the terrorists listed under the UN anti-sanction regime, the entire financial sanction is not being implemented by Pakistan, which of course remains a worry not only for FATF but also India has been talking about it. We know that Pakistan had approached the United Nations Security Council seeking allowances for these terrorists, which of course raises eyebrows that why the government of Pakistan has been reaching out to UN for these terrorists to get them allowances. And allowances is not a meager sum, it is a substantial sum by Pakistani standards. In fact, a diplomat told me that that amount is something that a person here in Delhi can live in a grand, luxurious house. So largely these are things which of course raises eyebrows, but largely if you look at the current geopolitical situation, it looks like the heat will be down for Pakistan very soon if Pakistan continues to implement its action plans, because even if it's not completed 3 of the action plans, it has completed 24 of the action plans, and this is something which of course Islamabad will boost to their domestic constituency, and that we do expect to happen all day today. In fact, the Pakistani Finance Ministry was quick to release its statement after the FATF's decision, welcoming the development, appreciating what the FATF mentioned by saying that 24 of the action plans have been completed. But largely, if we look at what is happening geopolitically, we know that Pakistan is now engaging with India. The joint statement has been released yesterday. In fact, the US has welcomed it, the UN has welcomed it, and this is something that will perhaps play in the backdrop as well.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Siddhant, for joining us and getting us all those updates there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.